So hello and welcome back to Goomanese Coins and Banknotes, and today we have more fiat currency. Now my channel does have a lot of fiat currencies because I just find them interesting. Coins do have a lot of history, and if you like to collect coins, a lot of coins you can actually get quite cheaply. Today we're looking at some Greek coins though. I haven't actually made a Greek video for at least 4 years. So, well, I thought I'd done all those videos, but a lot of them probably didn't perform that well. And they could probably do a lot better. Probably just do even more videos to boost the actual content that I do have. So, if you're interested in Greek coins, I do have a playlist that you can actually find Greek coins under, as well as the arch enemy Turkey. Okay, so basically this is the last series of Greek coins that were in circulation, and this lot here sold for $25. These ones usually sell for about $5 each, and the rest probably about $1 or $2 depending on the condition and the actual year. So we have the oldest coins that were in circulation was the 5 and the 10 drachma, which was first introduced in 1976, and that goes also for the 20 drachma, which is the large copper nickel coin. So those three are copper nickel. And then in 1986 they issued this aluminium bronze 50 drachma. 1988 they issued the smaller 1 and 2 drachma coins, which are made out of, I think they're copper plated steel, or maybe just copper or bronze, but Numista says they're copper. Anyway, in 1990 they issued the smaller aluminium bronze 20 drachma, because that was equivalent to roughly about 10 cents. So that means that the large copper nickel coin is probably not cost effective to mint. And also in 1990 they issued a large 100 drachma. Now they did issue 500 drachma coins in 2000, but there was a set of 6 coins of 4 million each, so that's 24 million coins they issued for circulation, but I'm not too sure how they all circulated. Okay, let's have a look at each of these coins. So the 1 drachma, so this is the smallest denomination, made out of bronze. It's 2.8 grams, 18 millimeters, and on the front of it has Helleniki Demokratia, so Hellenic Republic. Well, we got democracy from this word anyway. And we have a Corvette and 1 drachma. So this is in relation to the War of Independence in 1821, when they did have a navy, but it's mainly the British and the French navy who done most of the damage to the Ottoman fleet. Although the Greeks did use fire ships, which they damaged quite a lot of the actual Greek ships. And on the other side of the coin we have Laskarina Bobolina, born 1771, died 1825 during the War of Independence, and she was a freedom fighter. So you can find information on her, and her name's in Greek cursive, and she's got a headdress, a traditional dress. So there's only one mintage figure for this coin, 1988, and that's 36,707,000. All the other years that this coin was minted, no mintage figures are actually known. So that's the 1 drachma. Then we have the 2 drachma. So this replaced my favourite coin of Greece, which I should do another video on. And this is a copper coin, 3.75, 21 millimeters. And on this side we have cannons. So we've got cannons, and we've got a wheel of a ship and the anchor, so this is also in relation to the War of Independence. And here we have the mint mark of Greece down below. So we've got the same thing. On the front of the coin, which is this side, we have Monto Mavroginis, 1796 to 1840. And it's a female, if you don't know. And she has more of a classical Greek pose than the other image we just saw. And she was also a heroine in the Greek War of Independence. Okay, then we get to the other coins. So, did I mention the mintages for the 2 drachma? Yeah, we have more mintage figures of this one. So the coin, so 1988 had a mintage of 56,531,000. Key date you want for this is 1994, 254,000 coins. So that one seems to be hard to get. You're more than likely just get 1988 or 1990. Okay, the 5 drachma. So this comes in 2 versions, and both of those are related to drachma. So this one has drachma, that's the first version, and this is the second version issued in 1982, drachmes. So to change the actual how you write the actual name and also pronounce it. Okay, so this denomination doesn't have anything, but on the front of the coin we have Aristotle, and he was a Greek philosopher, scientist, student of Plato and teacher of Alexander the Great. Yeah, I don't like to call him great. Anyway, and this is supposed to have been a bust, so a Roman copy of a Greek bronze bust. So more than likely is that that's what he originally looked like. Now, these coins had a high mintage, and this one is dated 1978, so 1978 had a mintage of 17,404,000. It's not as much as 1976, 85 million, but the key date you want for these is well, basically I don't know. Looks like 1993, which were only minted for coin sets. The other ones, some of them are missing mintages, but they don't seem to be too scarce. Okay, the 10 drachma, we have an atom, so we have the nucleus and the electrons going around. Actually, electrons don't really orbit like that. And this one looks like it's got a bit of ghosting, so it's got an image being impacted on the other side. And this is Demokritos. So in English we know him as Democritus, and he was born in 460 BC and died in 370 BC. Greek philosopher, and supposedly developed the atomic theory, so I need to actually read that in one of his books. So it's 7.5 grams, 25.6 millimeters, and quite a nice coin. So these ones are all plain, and we have first issue 1976, 1978, 80 are pretty common. And then we have 1982 with 35,359,000. Looks like all of the mintages are over the 10 million mark, so none of them are actually quite scarce. Once again, only in 1993 we issued in coin sets. Okay, then we have the 20 drachma. So I actually got one of these coins off my Persian friend when I was younger, and I was quite happy to get it. So here we have the Parthenon. So now Numistate gets muddled up, which is the front and which is the back I like to say generally the name of the country is the front of the coin. Doesn't matter about the denomination. It can be on either side. And the images, it depends. And also depends on whatever the government of Greece determines is the front of the coin. Okay, so this is an interesting coin. So it's actually inscribed on the actual rim of the coin. So Greek democracy, Greek republic, and here we have Pericles. So he was Athenian general, and he was born in 495, passed away in 429. So not really at the end of the Peloponnesian Wars. So this is one of the first coins I got from Greece, and once again, no mintages are actually quite low. This 1976 had a mintage of 53,167,000, and for the next series we have pretty much 82, 84, 86 and 88. They're all over 10 million, so they're all pretty common. And this 20 drachma last minted in 1988, and in 1990 was replaced by this smaller aluminium bronze coin. And on this side, which has an olive branch, so it's incus and excus, and then we have 20 drachma, the mint mark, the name of the country, Greek Republic, 1992. And on this side we have a portrait. The thing about this portrait of Dionysus Solomon is that the nose is highly engraved, so it sticks out quite a lot. So it's the first thing to wear on the coin. So when you're looking at wear on these coins, look at that nose. You can actually tell if it's got a lot of missing or not. Okay, so this is 7 grams, 24.5 millimeters, and don't know much about this guy, but he was born in 1798, passed away 1874. Poet from Zakynthos, and national poet. Probably had something to do with the War of Independence, and he wrote the Greek national anthem. So this coin, it's not really a scarce coin. Seems like they're all pretty common. Now 1990, the first year of issue, doesn't have any mintage figures that I know of. The 1992 had 18,645,000, so I reckon 1990 has a high mintage in it. Once again, 93 is also only issued in coin sets, and this corresponds with the other aluminium bronze coins, so the size does differentiate substantially, and it's pretty normal for coins of the same metal. So this one is also one of my favourite coins. Has a trimeme, or maybe a bimeme, which is just a type of sailing ship the Greeks, Phoenicians and the Romans used. And this one, yeah, as we saw before, just this region. And this has Homer. So Homer is the author of the Iliad and Ulysses. Although we're not too sure if this is what he looked like. This is probably just a made up feature because of the time period in which he grew up. And he lived in the 8th century, so really I don't think any really Greek style paintings or sculptures or anything like that does survive of him, because at the time period in the 8th century the actual artwork was actually quite a lot different than it was in the 4th century. Okay, the last coin we have the 100 drachma. So this one has Alexander the Great. So it says, is that Great Alexander, King of Macedonia? And this is a portrait of him, probably taken from one of his coins. But there are also some busts of him which survive in various degrees but I'm not too sure how accurate they will be. So this one to interrupt the milling. And on this side we have the Macedonian sun disk. So let me get the page up. Okay, so it is used on the Macedonian flag, although it's quite altered, but Greece is actually not quite happy with that. And also they weren't happy with the use of the Macedonian, which they claim to be theirs. Although there are ancient people called Macedonians which speak probably a language similar to Greek. Anyway, so we have the mark, the date, and also we have a lot of people think that represents Berlin. It just says Virginia. So anyway, I'm not too sure what that says. I should actually get the interpretation sooner or later. Okay, so this is 10 grams, 29.3 millimeters, and by 2002 this is actually the largest coin in circulation in Greece. And 1990, Numistus says there's a mintage of 949,000, but considering the amount that is sold on the internet, I reckon it's quite higher. And 92, 94, over 100 million each. And the key date for circulation is 1998, with only 6,985,000. So really not a scarce coin, although if this does have a mintage of 949,000, this will be the key date. But considering I've had quite a few, I reckon that they're missing probably, I don't know, 2 zeros off it. Probably at least 94 million. Anyway, hope this helps you with your Greek coins. Quite a nice set if you want to get them. Don't worry about the French coins. They like to run away like normal. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time, and take care.